Mr. Speaker, sir, I speak on this motion from the perspective of someone who has spent years working alongside hawkerpreneurs in my various roles, first as an entrepreneur, now as a Member of Parliament and grassroots advisor. Defending Singapore's hawker culture and hawkerpreneurs' livelihood is a deeply personal matter to me, as I've experienced firsthand the grit, determination, and passion of our hawkerpreneurs, and have close friends in the ecosystem. As such, I have personally experienced several reviews that have led to tangible improvements. Our hawkerpreneurs are everyday heroes who toil over their hot stoves to provide all of us affordable and tasty meals. I'd like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all hawkerpreneurs, past and present, and especially those who are with us today in the gallery. From my direct engagement with hawkerpreneurs, it is clear that two largest cost drivers are the cost of raw ingredients and manpower, not rent, as is commonly perceived and also acknowledged by Member Mr. Leong Man Wai as well. Based on data shared by hawkerpreneurs who I met recently at Senja Hawker Centre, ingredients make up 50 to 60% of their total costs. Manpower accounts for 15 to 25%, and rental constitutes around 10%. This means for every serving of hawker meal we order for $4, $2 to $2.40 is paid to ingredient suppliers, 60 cents to $1 for manpower, and 40 cents is paid for rental. There are other miscellaneous expenses such as transport and utilities. The actual net profit margin that our hawkers earn is as low as 20 to 40 cents per serving. This breakdown highlights the thin profit margins and underscores the importance of addressing the need of our hawkerpreneurs to earn a decent livelihood. To illustrate the challenges with ingredients costs on the ground, allow me to share about Mr. Zuhairi, who runs Project Pengyat at Senja Hawker Centre. Mr. Zuhairi shared that customer preferences for certain parts such as thigh over breast meat lead to imbalances and wastage. Unsold breast meat at the end of the day has to be discarded, increasing the cost of goods sold significantly. He mentioned, when customers ask for more thighs, I worry about the breast meat that it may go unsold. Any wastages directly affects my earnings, end quote. These days, when I order ayam penyet at his stall, Mr. Zuhairi will jokingly ask me, breast or thigh? I will obviously reply, chicken breast. Mr. Zuhairi also shared that in recent years, since COVID, the cost of fresh chicken has risen from $3.50 to $4.50 per kilograms, and the price of chili has nearly tripled from $2.50 to $6 per kg. Mr. Zuhairi orders chili to make tasty sambal that goes perfectly with his ayam penyet. But Mr. Zuhairi expressed anxiety over customers requesting extra sambal chili sauce, which they expect at no additional charge. With margins already slim, such additional requests further strain finances. He shared, and I quote, I want to satisfy my customers, but giving more chili without charging increases my ingredients costs. Mr. Speaker, these anecdotes may seem trivial to some, but I felt that it's important to share the ground concerns and anxieties of our hawkerpreneurs. These are issues we may not think of as consumers when we buy our food. Thankfully, Mr. Zuhairi shared that ingredients prices have stabilized. This signals that the monetary measures such as strengthening the Sing dollar put in place by the government have helped. Regards to members' Hazelpa's suggestion on centralized procurement at hawker centres, I'd like to share that operators have explored these ideas, but certain challenges make it difficult to implement. First, hawkerpreneurs' ingredients are highly varied, with many different SKUs. For example, even something as simple as common as rice comes in various types and grades, complicating central procurement and bulk purchasing efforts. Second, many hawkerpreneurs have long-standing relationships with their suppliers and prefer to maintain these trusted connections. Another key challenge that hawkerpreneurs face is the cost and lack of manpower. As part of our national commitment to uplift lower-wage workers, manpower costs have increased. Hawkers are now offering salaries ranging from $2,600 to $3,200 for store assistants, but there are very few local job seekers interested in these positions due to the demanding nature of the work and long hours. Local job seekers are also needed in other sectors such as childcare and healthcare. Recognizing these challenges during one of my catch-ups with hawkerpreneur friends, one of whom is Mr. Norman Mubarak, founder of Nasi Lemak Taliwang, they suggested allowing them to hire long-term Visit Plus holders to alleviate the manpower shortage. I felt that this was a good suggestion as LTV Plus holders are part of a Singaporean family. Allowing hawkers to hire LTV Plus holders will balance both the need for an additional pool of workers to hire, mitigate concerns that our hawker centres should be distinctively Singaporean, and provide additional job options for Singaporean families. As a follow-up, I submitted a parliamentary question in August urging the Ministry of Sustainability and Environment to allow hawkers to hire LTVP Plus holders. I am pleased that following this, Senior Minister of State Dr. Koh Poh Koon announced in the last sitting that hawkers can now employ LTVP Plus holders as stall assistants. As shared earlier, this policy's change not only provides hawkers with an additional pool of manpower, but also increases job opportunities for LTV Plus holders who are often family members of Singaporeans. I note that some hawkerpreneurs have asked to be allowed to hire foreigners on work permit. We are mindful of community concerns about allowing more foreigners to work in hawker centres. Hansard records from 2010 and 2011 reflect concerns over the influx of foreign workers in hawker centres, with residents noting issues such as language barriers, cultural differences, and variations in service standards. In the parliamentary sitting on the 1st of March 2010, then Minister for Environment and Water Resources, Dr. Yaacob Ibrahim, acknowledged these concerns, and I quote, "Some members have raised concerns about the increasing presence of foreign workers in hawker centres, which may affect the ambience and character of these places. To strike a balance, NE allows hawkers to employ a limited number of foreign workers as assistants, subject to certain conditions to ensure that the character of hawker centres is maintained," end quote. Member Mr. Lim Biao Chuan expressed during the 5th of March sitting, 2010 sitting, and I quote, "Many residents have given feedback that the presence of foreign workers affect the traditional feel of our hawker centres. There are also concerns about communication difficulties and differences in hygiene practices," end quote. It is important to acknowledge these concerns and strive for a balance between addressing manpower needs and preserving the authenticity of our hawker culture. The recent policy to enable hawkers to hire LTVP Plus holders demonstrates that reviews are conducted continuously, taking the manpower situation and cultural attitudes into careful consideration. Next, I would like to speak about the management model of hawker centres. The SCHC model has been subject to much discussion in the past and in today's debate. It is essential to share some sentiments of hawkerpreneurs presently. One that I know very well is Senja Hawker Centre in Zhenghua. This is a new hawker centre managed under the SCHC model. The FairPrice Group is the appointed management company by NEA. I'd like to share with the House the experience of Miss Angeline, a first-time hawkerpreneur at Senja Hawker Centre who sells local delights such as Hokkien Mee and carrot cake. Starting, Angeline faced several challenges. She needed guidance to navigate various licensing matters, such as understanding which licenses are necessary and figuring out how to set up a utility account. Our employment laws and finding reliable supplier contacts were also obstacles along the way. But she wasn't alone. The center manager from the SCHC operator became a vital source of support, helping her through each requirement. In her own words, she shared, and I quote, "Without the support of the center manager, I would have felt lost, and it would have taken me much longer to start my business," end quote. Such support is invaluable, especially for the next generation of hawkerpreneurs who may not have the industry knowledge and networks that veteran hawkerpreneurs have built over the years. With the guidance of dedicated center managers, new hawkerpreneurs like Angeline are better positioned to navigate these challenges and build successful businesses. SCHC operators also assist in procuring shared services such as centralized dishwashing. This has significantly alleviated manpower challenges as they are not required to wash dishes themselves. The dishes are cleaned by a third-party vendor. Hawkers at Senja Hawker Centre express satisfaction with these services. Mr. Yo, a senior hawker who owns Yongfeng Qi chicken rice, shared that centralized dishwashing saves them time and allows them to focus on cooking and serving their customers. While SCHC has brought clear value to most hawkers, some have also provided feedback on areas of concern with the SCHC model. For instance, the operation hours minimum requirements can be rigid, making it challenging for a single operator stall to comply. It gets harder to comply when hawkers face manpower challenges and need time for personal exigencies. On the other hand, the minimum operating hours requirement is to ensure that there are sufficient choices for patrons and minimum vibrancy. It is challenging for a management to attract footfall to a center if there are insufficient stalls open for business. Hawkerpreneurs benefit from increased footfall. I believe the genuine solution is to find a realistic fit somewhere between these two expectations, and every single hawker center will be different due to local community needs. Instead of perceiving the SCHC model as the boogeyman, we need to solve the real challenge. How do we fine-tune the model to meet the needs of our hawkerpreneurs and the communities they serve? Taking a lead from PAP's tripartism, we can extend hawkerpreneurs' representation under the SCHC model to a similar model that of existing hawkers and merchant associations. This provides an opportunity for collective feedback from hawkerpreneurs to SCHC operators and NEA to co-create industry standards around contractual matters and ground issues that align hawkerpreneurs with local needs. The SCHC model definitely has value. It's the hawkerpreneurs informing us about how things are better for them. But this does not make us complacent. Let's work together with the operators and hawkerpreneurs to make continuous improvements. Mr. Speaker, sir, to ensure our hawker culture thrives, it is crucial that our hawkerpreneurs can earn a sustainable income. Rising costs of ingredients and manpower costs continue to erode their already slim profit margins, leaving little for their own livelihood. Our hawkerpreneurs provide incredible societal value by offering affordable food for Singaporeans. To truly appreciate the affordability of our hawker food, let's compare it to street food prices in other major cities around the world, relative to median incomes in those cities. In Singapore, the median monthly wage in 2023 is about $5,197, and a typical hawker meal costs 5 Singapore dollars. This means that a hawker meal represents roughly 0.1% of the median monthly income. Now consider Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, where the median monthly wage is about 1,901 Singapore dollars, and the street food meal costs about 290 Sing dollars. Here, a meal accounts for around 0.26% of the median income, more than twice that of Singapore. Moving to Hong Kong, the median monthly wage is about 3,378 Sing dollars, and a simple street meal can cost around $8.50 Sing dollars, making up about 0.25% of the median income. Even in Western cities like New York City, where the median monthly wage is about 6,626 Sing dollars, the cost of a basic meal represents a larger proportion of the median income compared to Singapore. In New York, a street meal costs around 13 Sing dollars and takes up about 0.2% of the median income. Earlier, Mr. Leong Mamai referred to the hawkers' stalls at Urban Hawker in New York, curated by Mr. K.F. Sito. It is laudable that our hawker food has been brought overseas. However, I read in a report by local news site Mothership and also CNA that chicken rice and prawn mee sold by urban hawkers in New York cost about Sing dollars, $25 and $26, much more than the same dishes would cost in Singapore. The Mothership articles also reported that hawkerpreneurs in New York cited high rental, ingredients and manpower costs and other challenges. And sadly, at least one hawkerpreneur has closed since. I was told that more have closed in recent months. Mr. Speaker, sir, what this shows is that the cost of food and business operating costs are common to all cities, Singapore included, but yet our local hawker centers are still able to provide us with affordable meals. I'm aware and empathize with residents who think of affordability based on what they used to pay rather than what others in other countries have to pay. However, such economic data points across cities provide a clear reality of our comparative situation. Notwithstanding this, our hawkers provide high quality, diverse, delicious meals at prices that are a fraction of what people pay in other global cities. This affordability is Singapore's unique social compact, forged out of a vocation to feed the nation, but it also underscores the financial pressures hawkers face. As we reflect on Singapore's social compact, let's also take a moment to consider how each of us can contribute to helping our hawkerpreneurs earn a fair and sustainable livelihood. Hawkers have expressed that while customers are willing to pay $15 for a bowl of ramen, they hesitate to pay $5 for a handmade bowl of fishball noodles. I believe that as a deeper appreciation of our hawkerpreneurs grows, the consumer will respond to pricing favorably because they know and they understand what it takes to deliver good hawker food. We must support them to ensure they can continue this vital service without compromising their livelihoods. On the government side, one particular initiative that has balanced affordability with accessibility well is the government's CDC vouchers. Hawkerpreneurs at Senja Hawker Centre shared that these vouchers contribute to approximately 10% of their revenue, which is significant. The CDC vouchers have directly provided Singaporean households with more to spend at hawker centres. Hawkerpreneurs at Senja Hawker Centre shared that the vouchers not only increase their sales, but also introduce new customers to their stalls. In a recent catch-up with Mr. Melvin Chew, who is the founder of Hawker United Tapao 2020 Facebook group, and that has more than 330,000 members, and also the owner of Chinchi Teochew Braised Duck and Kway Chap, which I understand he's here today, and I would like to acknowledge his presence, which is located at Chinatown Complex Food Market and Food Centre. He shared candidly that the CDC vouchers have been extremely helpful for the patrons in Chinatown, as many are seniors who have retired. He has witnessed seniors holding stacks of CDC vouchers as well-wishers donate CDC vouchers to them, and seniors can now gather to enjoy a nice zi cha meal instead of being restricted to just budget items. There are also many notable examples of paid-forward initiatives in hawker centres around Singapore. These examples show that Singaporeans can align local initiatives to show their support for those with less. I hope that we can provide more CDC vouchers to resource-low families and our seniors who are mostly retired. Providing additional vouchers to them ensures they continue access to affordable meals, and it supports hawkers by increasing patronage. In Zhenghua, we've also introduced $1 deals as part of our local initiatives. Every month, Zhenghua residents can purchase $1 deals, and in December alone, nearly 1,000 hawker meals were sold at just $1 each. Hawkers receive the full value of the meal as our community funds tops up the difference. These deals were fully sold in 3 days. My grassroots team and I are now exploring ways to expand this initiative so that even more hawkers and residents can benefit. Corporations can also play a significant role in supporting our hawker culture. Notable initiatives like DBS's 5 million hawker meals program offer $3 cashback for PayLah users at participating hawker stalls. The scheme encourages users to dine at hawker centres. These programs underscore that much has been done to support our hawkerpreneurs and ensure that food remains affordable. It takes a whole-of-society approach to support our hawkerpreneurs, from government policies to corporate initiatives and consumers' attitudes. Everyone has a role to play in sustaining this vital part of our culture. As such, Mr. Speaker, sir, with your permission, may I propose amendments to the motion?
Can I have a copy of your proposed amendments?
Yes, sir.
The proposed amendments submitted by the member is in order. Do you have copies available for other members?
Yes, sir.
Can we distribute that out? I'll give some time for the copies to be distributed out before you move your amendment. Mr. Chair, I've also frozen the time clock, so you still have. It's not eating into your time, although you're getting close to 20 minutes.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
All right, I think all members have received a copy of your amendments. Mr. Chair, you may move your amendments.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following amendments. First, in line 1, to delete review and insert continue its support for hawkers by regularly reviewing. Second, in line 2, to delete the words provide better support for hawkers and insert which will help. And in third, and in line 3, at the end of line 3, to add, quote, while enabling hawkers to earn a fair livelihood.
You can proceed with your speech, the rest of your speech.
Mr. Speaker, sir, our hawker centers are integral to Singaporeans' way of life. They are places where we connect, share, and celebrate our diverse heritage. Let us work together, government, businesses, and citizens alike, to ensure that our hawkerpreneurs can make a fair livelihood and that everyone can enjoy affordable food. This will ensure that our hawker culture thrives for generations to come. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move.
There are 3 amendments proposed by the member to the motion. Amendment number 1. In line 1, to delete review and insert continue its support for hawkers by regularly reviewing. Amendment number 2. In line 2, to delete the words to provide better support for hawkers and insert which will help. Amendment number 3. At the end of line 3, to add while enabling hawkers to earn a fair livelihood. It may be convenient that the debate on the original motion and on any other amendments moved by members be proceeded with simultaneously as a debate on a single question. Do I have honourable members' agreement to this?